All right, we are now live. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the BoD meeting for Amp of Alaska, January 21st of 2019. In attendance, we have Cameron from Loop and Moon, um, Jason as the ex-CEO, Sean from Ravenstone, and myself as the presiding CEO or king for the kingdom-wide stuff. We have nothing on the agenda for tonight for the BOD side of things. Um, so I'll make a motion to adjourn immediately.
I second the motion to adjourn the BoD meeting.
Awesome. So Sean, do you object? Or
I'm
Sean?
the one
Why?
expecting
Yeah,
it.
no. I'm staring at Cameron's picture and I'm saying Sean because it's the only word that shows up on my screen. Cameron, do you object? Or
No
do you
objections.
agree? Okay.
I agree.
And Jason doesn't get to vote, so we're going to close the meeting. So, yay. The BOD meeting has ended at 8:19 with there. Thank you. All right, so CoC meeting is starting. We're kind of limited on representatives tonight, but we're gonna move forward. So on the agenda for that, um, wow, I didn't even get it pasted into the right place. Let me find my magic file that I always keep as a backup, which didn't get updated either. So to Facebook. Aha! DC updates. Any last minute things that do you want to share with us about DC? As we head.
No, things are going pretty good. We are cobbling together a few minor things for the console events, but I think we've got everything in hand, and I have finalized most of our sponsorship stuff. We've got several sponsors for the event, which is really exciting, and no, we're just sort of getting into crunch time and getting all the admin stuff together, and we're pretty much ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. And so this is the final stretch. So anybody that's watching this and for the Council of Crowns here, we just need to be pushing this this event. Oh, I did have a question actually for DC. So are we charging youngins, those they're too young to participate? Um, what's our cutoff for age limits of when we're charging?
That's a really good question. I don't have a separate ticket price for youngins. I mean, if they're too young to participate,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that we'll probably just let them in with their parent.
Okay.
Um, but those folks could, I guess, contact me if they had any questions directly.
Okay. I
But
think I got asked that it was an internal question too, personally. So I figured a couple others
yeah,
might
I'm
have it.
about to release an FAQ, so
Okay.
I'll add that question in there.
Awesome. And then are we charging separately for feast participation, or is that
Only
included?
for non-amp garters.
Okay. And so what's the fee for that?
$5.
$5. Okay, so $5
Yeah.
will get you food on top of your $35 ticket. Or is
Yeah, but all the food in the tavern costs money. If you want to eat that particular food, it's $5.
okay.
But if
Okay,
you're a
cool.
member of Northreach, then we let you in for free.
Cool. Did you guys have any last minute questions for him, or anything that you think should be added to the FAQ?
I got nothing.
Nope.
Okay, so we just got to promote the heck out of this. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll just be the one that keeps having the questions. Are we any other promotional deals, last minute things that we can think of? I know at one point you were advertising that folks, amp garters that brought a buddy that was non-amp garter could get like half price tickets for them. Is that
ten
still a
bucks
thing?
off, but
Oh, $10 off. Okay,
that's
sorry.
yeah, that's absolutely a thing. If you contact me by the end of this week, um, and let me know that you've got a non-amp garter that wants to attend with you, I will give both of you $10 off. You just let me know, and I'll give you a discount code for our online store.
Okay, cool. Any other promotions or anything else that we're pushing? Or is that the main
No,
one? Okay.
that's the main one.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll let you off the hook for DC stuff. So we got
Sweet.
we got to promote the heck out of it, and yeah, we're less than 2 weeks away. So yeah,
Yeah, I made some copies of those flyers you gave me, Gore, and I've got flyers up at like all the Fred Meyers that I frequent. So Walmart, gas stations. I just kind of
Sweet.
started putting them up.
Yeah, I'm actually going out. I got permission from the Anchorage School District to advertise the event at all of the secondary schools. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to start a campaign to visit 22 schools and drop off Dungeon Crawl flyers at all of those. So hopefully that'll generate some interest as well.
Cool. All right, so next item on the agenda. Go ahead.
I've got potentially one thing. I still have contact with the president of the teacher. What's it called? Teacher host of the anime manga club at East High School. I can see if I can have her possibly post one of these flyers up in her room.
Yeah, you could. Their outside organization advertisement process is very formalized. So I had to get permission from somebody in the actual superintendent's office.
Okay.
So now I got to go down to the individual school offices and I have to give all the paperwork. There's a bunch of forms I had to fill out and I have to give copies to them, and then they decide where they're going to post it in their school. So
never mind on that idea then.
It was a little bit complicated. It took me a while to get it all approved, but we're good and we got time, so it'll be awesome.
Alrighty then.
Get it all approved.
Alrighty, so we ready for the next item? All right, so Callie, this is a young girl in Lupin Moon that's been helping us Reeve, and there is a special request with a list of stipulations requesting that she have a 90-day probationary status and see how she does playing on the field. And Cameron, do you have any comments, concerns about that? This will be your home park.
No concerns. Well, I mean, it's gonna be my home park for another week and a half. Well, I guess the park that I'm running for another week and a half.
Right. I was like, oh, so you're moving. Oh.
Yeah, no.
He's moving to Ravenstone like everybody else.
In terms of yeah. No problems. I sparred with her the other day. I hadn't sparred with her in a while, and I had been a little bit concerned at her being timid, a couple months back when I had sparred with her last. But this past weekend, I sparred with her some, and she was confident. Killed me quite a few times, and I was using a dagger, but I'm okay with it. And her name's Kaylee.
Kaylee, okay, sorry, yeah. Okay. I'm just staring at how close it is to the rain change, but that shouldn't really affect it. Do you feel do you give a solid recommend for this?
Yes.
Okay. Sean, you've interacted with her a little bit. Anything to add?
No, I've never sparred with her, but I've seen her spar with Runeheart and Corrin, and I was sharing the same concerns as Corrin there for a bit. She seemed fairly timid and wanted more to run away than to actually engage, but she looks like I think she'll do okay.
Yeah. All right, so do you guys want to do a vote on this immediately and set her up for a 90-day probationary status? Now, specifically, that would require her parent, who has not been there previously, the parent would absolutely need to be on site for any of this.
Her mom generally has been there.
Oh, has she been there? Okay,
yes,
then I missed that.
Her mom sits on the bleachers usually.
Okay. That's not what I got from the original message to me, but so I missed my bad. All right, so I guess we could do a vote on this. This feels so silly because it's the two of you plus me. So officially, Cameron, what do you say? Yay?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
All right. And I'll give it my stamp of approval for the time being. Yeah, always have the right to revoke if we see something kind of going south or.
And it's a probationary period.
And it is a probationary, and so we'll give her a shot for the next 90 days. Do we want any other stipulations or exceptions? Anything else to consider? We have the parent on site. Everything else has to be above signing and all that. I assume that you'll take care of making sure the field officers can keep an extra eye out, make sure that she's doing all right and that they're aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question just before we close on this topic.
Mm-hmm.
But is there was there any consideration given to discussing this with the incoming monarchs who take over like in 10 days? Because they're essentially going to be handed this person for 80 of those 90 days. Or just a thought.
Right. I mean, I was thinking about that, and the thing that echoed in my head as I was about to make a comment in that regard was, well, the people representing the office are representing the office. It's not so much that like Cameron approved; it's the office approved, and so I think a solid discussion though with Michelle is who's incoming. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so a solid discussion with Michelle, and Logan and
Logan.
yeah, which yeah, I assume that
In
that they're
reality,
on.
it's only going to be.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say normally I would totally agree with you, Nalarian. In this particular situation, though, the entire incoming board is accepting legal responsibility for this decision, and of all the decisions the board makes, a minor being injured is one of probably the highest potential risk
Risks,
decisions.
right?
So again, just a thought.
That's fair. And so what we might do is she gets this weekend, and then uh, we'll open it back up again with the next COC with the do you want to continue with this and give them an opportunity, since it is a probationary time. I think that's perfectly fair and reasonable to give them the opportunity to say, I don't know if this is going to work out, because that could happen at 1 week, 2 weeks, or whatever. Does that sound fair to you guys?
Sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
Unreasonable. Okay. Because I also didn't want to table it for another 2 weeks, superficially. Well, yeah. All right. So Kaylee will get to in theory play, and hopefully everything goes well with that. All right. So the next subject was the All Thing submission. So there was some back and forth behind the scenes regarding this. Gideon has posted a petition that has been slowly accruing some signatures regarding edit to our admin manual about crown qual categories. But there's been a fair amount of discussion, and I think the intention originally was that this proposal was going to be brought to the COC directly. Was that the original?
Yes.
Okay, making sure I'm getting all the T's crossed and I's dotted. So we're looking at his current submission as per his petition at the moment. Are you two aware of that? I guess three, not to exclude Jason because he talk, but are you guys aware of the content of that?
Yes.
Sean, are you?
Sorry, my brain's not quite working.
You're not? Okay.
It's been a long day.
I'm sorry, and I'm stuttering. So, the petition that Gideon submitted regarding edits to crown qual categories, are you familiar with that content?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I was actually gonna try and pull it up and gloss it.
Got you. Okay. So I'm seeing some solid discussion on there that gives me pause about submitting it. That I think we should consider before just adding his submission straight to an all thing. Do you guys agree, or do you want to talk about it? I mean, I just want to open the floor. There's not a lot of us in here. So I don't know, Cameron. Do you have anything that you want to say in regards to the subject? Should we? Do you feel that we should be pushing this to an all thing immediately?
I think we should. The only thing I might alter would be to separate the two categories into two different all thing items rather than a single one for both.
Okay, and do you feel like as written it should be submitted that way? Because I don't know. I'm looking at the discussion, and I think there's a good number of people that are kind of like, we should edit the drinking one instead of adding a new category.
Yeah, I think adding is definitely the right way to go, though, given the constraints on vintners with potentially having a different time, different location, and different judges. Like having a non-alcoholic beverage category versus adding to vintners and then
Okay,
dealing with all the headache.
I see your point. Where vintners could be half done here and half done at a separate thing by separate judges. Okay, that's. Sean, I mean, do you think that they should both be just added straight to an all thing? I mean, ultimately, the people will decide once it's at an all thing. Whether they want to add things. Do you feel that we should be making this jumping in there right now and making it being all thing, or should we give him time to edit what he would want?
I mean, it's well written and it's pretty concise. I'd say we can go ahead and add it to an all thing. I mean, I have no arguments with the content.
Okay. And I just know offhand, just kind of reading the stuff, and I don't want to speak for Jason, but I see you're not a major fan of the proposal, but do you see like any words you want to share about whether we should add it directly to an all thing or not?
Well, there's a bunch of considerations here. One, just previous experience when I was king, I generally don't recommend that the CoC involve itself in a all thing petition unless there's some compelling reason. Like y'all should probably let that run its course. If you take what's written and push it to an all thing now, you literally cut that discussion off, force it to stop there, and then try to move it somewhere else. And unless there's a really good reason to do that, you have the membership engaging in the process for adding it to the all thing. If it gets enough membership support to go to the all thing, then that's really telling about how the membership feels. If they can't generate enough support, then you putting on the all thing, you're pretty much putting something that's DOA on there, and that's just a waste of time. As far as the proposal itself goes, in the previous proposals that Gideon had for some of the passive construction categories like woodworking, things like that, I was pretty supportive of that. It's really important that people pay attention to what the larger impact of some of these actions are and how it affects not just that specific category, but our ANS process overall. And it can have unforeseen effects if you're not kind of paying attention. So one of the things to remember here is that the kingdom as a whole voted to remove condiments at one point as an item. So putting it back in I would want something. I would want some actual support instead of override that. And then I personally, as both a member and as an officer, am leery about adding food categories simply because we haven't done a really good job of handling the food categories that we have, and the most recent qualifications that we've had really sort of hammered that in. Like we're not running those the right way, and so adding more food categories has the risk of just sort of compounding that factor. And I think that it might be more worthwhile to the kingdom overall to look at how we're running food categories, and if the way we have them written and the way we're supposed to do it is not the way the kingdom wants to do it, then maybe the entire section needs to be overhauled, or maybe we just need to enforce it the right way. Like there's some other outlying issues in that particular category right now that I think need to be addressed.
Yeah, so speaking to the first comment, I think that's something that I've been trying. So the first comment, specifically what I'm talking about is the people getting mixed up about what a petition to an all thing and bringing something to say me or somebody else in the CoC for us to add something to an all thing. There's basically so just a little recap. There's 3 avenues to get an item added to an all thing, and that is bringing it to me and me just doing, using my executive power to add it because I'm like, oh, this is absolutely important, and I'll just add it and go straight to an all thing. That one is not super frequent. It's kind of special, and usually I like to let other folks play and participate in that before just adding something. The second one is if the CoC, kind of like what we're talking about right now, is if the CoC adds something, decides to add it to an all thing and bring it to an all thing. And so one item that kind of happens there is so the budget is kind of an automatic thing. We all kind of work together, come up with something, and then like as a group, as the BoD or as the CoC, we bring that to the group, and so that ends up going to the null thing. The third option, though, which is the one that's kind of being employed, whether people realize it or not, is having a petition. And once you get 20% of the voting eligible members to sign the petition, then it automatically gets added to the all thing. And so that's the route that we were seeing publicly executed. Now, there is some miscommunication among some of the CoC members that we kind of hammered out between Cameron and I. So this proposal from Gideon was originally meant to kind of be brought to the CoC, and then we were going to discuss it. But he, at the same time, published it publicly and set it up as a petition. So there was kind of a duality of approaches there that he hit. So I think his original intention was to ask the CoC to add it. But what I'm seeing at the moment is not, as Jason kind of pointed out, I'm not seeing that 20% of voting eligible members jumping on board of this. Most of the commentary so far has been about edits and tweaks to it. I see support overall for most of it, especially the liquid category, the drinking category. But they want to tweak and do something differently with it. So I'm personally at the moment leaning towards agreeing with Jason that maybe throwing these directly to an all thing wouldn't necessarily be the best idea. It'd be kind of a waste of everybody's time since there's already a discussion happening in that vein. So sorry, go ahead. Yep.
I was gonna say another option might be to just table it, until the next meeting, which would give that online membership discussion a chance to run its course and evolve, which would give you several different tools to use. One, you'd have a much clearer idea of the direction the membership might be interested in going. Two, you'd actually have a full council, so you'd get more input from the representatives of the parks.
Right.
And three would let you explore some different options that might be more suitable than the proposal as it's currently written.
Yeah, it gives him an opportunity to refine or change it, or
exactly
split them up.
Split it, tweak it, incorporate the other ideas that are being thrown around, like all those things, And honestly, we have, this is we just had Crown Qualls, so there's lots of time before this is even an issue that matters.
But to be fair, this is also the time when everybody's energized and engaged with the concept, too, because they just went through it.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying, to let them engage.
Yeah. Because, personally, I'm supportive of the notion of having non-alcoholic beverages. Now, I don't want to see fruit juice, but... there are still lots of drinks that are could be non-alcoholic that could be interesting things. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. So, how do you guys feel? Do you want to overrule me? Because I'm, I want to table it. Yeah. You want to fight me on that? Because we can go single short. No long swords. No? Alright.
Yeah, we can go ahead and table it.
Yeah, if we had the full council here, I'd make more of an argument not to table it, but like Gordon says, we're short staffed today.
Yeah, we're pretty short staffed. Yeah. And I almost feel like, honestly, it'd be a disservice to Gideon to push it forward right now because there is so much discussion going on about it right now too. So alright. That was all the things that I had on the public CoC meeting for tonight. So unless you guys have anything to add, this is your opportunity. Any questions? I'm going to check the YouTube dashboard and see if anybody wants to, because there are 3 people watching in theory. Probably have to give it 30 seconds or so to catch up, but...
I want to say it's been a good reign serving as Ravenstone's Monarch, and hopefully they'll vote me next time I run for it.
Yeah, I've got all my sentimental words to share with you guys, but I'm going to do that off air, so, you don't need to... I'll save my public sentimentality for DC, which you all should be attending, right? That'll be a thing.
See, in theory, I'll be there. It's all dependent on how much work we get. If we get a bunch of snow, then I can't. I got to go to work.
Right. All right,
I've already had this discussion with my boss. If we get more than 3 or 4 inches, I gotta go in.
Yep. All right, I am not.
So I'm just gonna pray that we get a light snow.
I'm not seeing any commentary on the YouTube live things, so we're gonna call it for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a good evening.